All right, it's time. It's time to do the poll one more time, okay? We're doing age. Once again, we're doing age because the last poll was totally cooked. Okay? Under 18 was at 1%, by the way. And I don't know if we should keep under 18 any longer, but 18 to 21, 22 to 25, 26 to 29, and last but not least, plus 30. And I guess we can do a separate breakdown of 30 plus in the future potentially, or cut out under 18 and just do 0 to 21 or something. Okay, new poll, baby. Get it. You can vote. You can vote on mobile too. It just takes some time. Yeah, we can do 0 to 21. You can vote on mobile. It just takes it just shows up for some and it doesn't show up for all, it seems. I don't know. I have demographic concerns. My community is aged out of the marketplace of ideas. This is a community full of unks now. We're unked up. Not working on mobile, you can't select anything? Can you not select anything? Or you're unk and aunties. %, seemingly is over the age of 30 plus. 26 to 29 is at 23%. 22 to 25 is at 19%. 18 to 21 is at 8%. And under 18 is at 1%. You can vote on mobile. You just have to refresh. That's what chatters were saying earlier, that you can refresh if you can vote on mobile if you refresh, chatters. Here it is. $13K voted only. Tell viewers to vote. What are you kidding me? 13K votes for fucking 36,000 viewers is really good. That is a way higher participation rate than expected. There's hella people who can't even fucking vote on mobile. 13,000 votes is great. We haven't reached that number of votes in the past. I don't think. There's motherfuckers watching in the car, you know? Had to pull up desktop site for mobile. It don't work. Mobile doesn't work after refresh. Lies. I've refreshed 3 times and it still won't let me select anything. I mean, the poll on, fuck. Not everyone on mobile is able to vote, which obviously cooks the books a little bit. You have to use web. Android won't work. Update your app if you can't vote. Okay, well, that's crazy. But I guess that's one way to do it. But scrap under 18, bro. This year is the year. Next year, we're scrapping under 18. It's over. We're bracketing under 18 to 18 to 21. Or not 18, 0 to 21. But this year, last year, 30 plus was at 43%. This year, 30 plus is at 50%. Last year, 26 to 29 was at 22%. This year, 26 to 29 is still at 22%. Last year, 22 to 25 was at 21%. This year, 22 to 25 is at 19%. And last year, 18 to 21 was 11%. This year, it is at 8%. And under 18 is 1.69%. Now it's down to 1%. Android users are reporting that they're having a hard time voting. So that's a big L for Android users. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, this year's demographic breakdown. This community has just been, it's the same community. It feels like as our numbers have grown, every year I do this. And as our numbers have grown every single year, I realize that like it's the same, almost the exact same age distribution. It's just getting older. God, Harry Anton, if there was a day for you to tune into the broadcast, today is the day. Holy Toledo! Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at that. Look at that distribution. It's like the distribution is damn near identical. It's just getting like the same people are aging through the different brackets. If you started watching me in 2020, you just basically click through these different age groups. At some point, you just moved up into the next bracket in the HasanAbi community. We're going to do this next year until it's all 30 plus. We're turning into Japan. I'm realizing that we need fresh blood in this community. How the fuck did this happen? The only time where the under 18 percentage grew was in 2021. And since 2021, all of the cancellations seemingly have eviscerated the young blood in this community. Less fun. Older chat. Less fun. We're not having fun anymore. We got to do. How are you going to get fresh blood? We're going to do a Zoomer charm offensive. It's literally just the same chatters, which is kind of crazy, which means that in spite of everything, this community has kept growing over the course of the past 5 years now. And in the process of growth, it's just basically kept mostly the same community. Because like back then when I first did this in June 2020 and then in December 2020, right? Originally when I did this in like December 2020 and then December 2021 and then August, July, August, like at this time frame when I was doing it, this was literally like pre-election, post-election, right? And the numbers went from like, you know, when I did it in June, probably it was like 10K average to like 30K average. And then it's just 30K average all the way over here. Sometimes going up, sometimes going down. Dog, Zoomers are between 24 and 30 now too. No, that's true. I forget that fucking Zoomers are unk. I forget that now Zoomers are unk. It's Gen Alpha. Do some more phase collabs, unk. Stop saying your age. Pestiny might want to date you. No, dog. This is why Destiny doesn't fuck with this community, okay? This is why. Only 1% is under the age of 18. That's why he hates us. He's like, y'all are too old. We are not his demographic, bro. Oh, man. I got called Unk IRL for the first time today. Okay, we're moving on to the next bracket at the HasanAbi Census. It's time for gender. We got male, female, non-binary, and other. Okay? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, this was a heavily male-dominated community that has become increasingly less male over time, and that is a good thing. Now we are going to do that. We are going to look for, we're going to see if this community has gotten more male-dominated or less. Manage the poll, new poll, gender. Male, female, MB, other. All right. The poll has started. Everybody, let's go. Once again, I don't do anything with this data. It's just a fun thing that we do for the community, okay? Considering that I don't really do any ads. I don't even run ads. And the Piker Broadcasting Service is sponsored by you, the viewers. For you, the viewers. Your voluntary contributions in the form of a Twitch Prime, which is free, or a $6 a month donation in the form of a subscription is the only way you can sponsor and support the Piker Broadcasting Service. Your sponsorship and your support allows me to maintain my editorial independence. All right, I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm going to keep it a secret for myself. You guys probably know what the poll results are looking like right now. I still don't know. Let's take a look. Oh, holy Toledo! The women are rising up! And the non-binaries are rising up! Oh my God! Male, female is not gender. Okay, shut up. You know what I mean. Don't do this. Okay, we need to find like some kind of designation here. Okay, everybody. It's just not. It doesn't mean like. If you are a trans female, say female, okay? Or wait, no, is that how we did it? Did we do cis man, cis woman, MB, and then trans? No, that's not how we did it. I don't think that's how we did it. No. It's just, no, we didn't do that. We only did men, women, non-binary, and other. There's a separate poll for trans. Why are you motherfuckers making shit up? No, it's like what you self-identify as. Every year we have this conversation. No, we haven't. There's a separate trans cis poll. Just wait. I'm trans. I pick female. Chatter was attention seeking. Also, I would not like it if you did that way. It would be otherizing. Yeah, we don't do that. If you're a trans woman, you're a woman. Just pick female. What the fuck's wrong with you? If you're a trans man, pick male. The fuck? There's no separate designation. And if you're non-binary, you pick non-binary. That's how we do it. That's how we've done it. That's how we've done it every year. What is this? Be normal. What the fuck? I don't even remember this being an issue. No, I mean, you say this every year. Do I have this conversation every year? I don't remember that. What the fuck? You think I would expect like trans women to pick male? What are you, crazy? That's insane. Okay, well, I've erased this conversation apparently that's taking place every fucking time. But you know what has actually gotten a lot cooler? 30% women. Let's fucking go. 30%. Yeah, the HasanAbi broadcast also does a genital inspection day. I was actually a trans medicalist all along. Turns out this was the big reveal. You caught me. God damn, it's over for the men. There is literally a gender side taking place here. What the fuck? If this continues, holy Toledo, men are going to be extinct in this community. By the way, This is an impressive gender breakdown for Twitch in particular, considering how male-dominated of a platform Twitch actually is. So the fact that year over year, the number of ladies have gone up from June 2020 at 11.51%, 83% men, 11.5% women, to all the way in 2025 to 29% women, 8% non-binary, which is the same as last year, and 1% other, is crazy. Turns out the thirst talk momentum is very much alive and very much well. More female viewers than Cutie, just saying. Yeah, I mean, that's also, yes, it's also true. Men are going extinct, folks. Men went from 67% last year, starting at 83%, to 67% last year to 62% this year. Holy Toledo. All right. Next up is political ideology. This one is always a contentious one because everybody always says, why is my particular political ideology not reflected in the polling results? And of course, you are not going to get exactly what you want out of this poll, but it doesn't matter. Put yourself in a bracket that you find most comfortable with. Politricks, I say. Politics, more like politricks. All right, we got socialist, social democrat, apolitical, liberal, and conservative. Okay, you already know what it is. Let's get it going. Let's get it twisted. That's how we started off. That's how it's going to be. Don't want to fucking hear about people complaining about the poll results. And as you can see here, initially when I started off in June 2020, we had a 5.24 conservative base of voters. We had liberals at 7.6%. We had social democrats at 35.57%, and socialists were the majority at 51.5%. Okay? And of course, the number of sock dems have gone down over the years and have maintained 18% in the last two, whereas everybody else have basically bracketed themselves in the socialists, with socialism being the 76.5% overwhelming majority year over year, growing from 51% in June 2020 all the way to 76%. Can we get the music back? Yes. The hogs have left or have converted from not being a hog. Oh my God! Holy Toledo! 85%. 85% socialist, 12% social democrat, apolitical is at 1%, liberals at 1%, conservatives at 1%. We need the hogs back, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? And I don't even want to say ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say ladies, because it seems to me like there's not a lot of gentlemen remaining in the broadcast. We got 60%. It is a gentle side. Men are under attack. It turns out I should be playing this music instead. Turns out the music that I've been playing this entire time was actually not good. I should be playing this instead. That's right. There is a specter haunting the HasanAbi broadcast, and that is the specter of communism, socialism, Marxist-Leninism. Can you read this out for the Android users? Confirmed to work for Android mobile users. Try using /vote in brackets number, where number is the option number, presuming top option is 1. Remember to remove curly brackets. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to vote and you are an Android cuck, all you need to do is type in the chat For Android mobile users, try using /vote and then the number being the option number, presuming the top option is number 1 on the polls. The green boxes will be liberated. I might have to reconfigure these polls for next year as well, because it seems like we don't have any hogs in here, which is something that I am desperate for, as you guys know. At least back in the day, we had 5% of hogs that made up 90% of the conversation, and now the hogs have gone. Where are all my hogs gone? Asmongold's chat, of course, unfortunately. I wish the hogs would return, at least some of them. We banned all the hogs. All right. That's it. Unless the hogs got converted. There it is. Socialists at 84%. I'm ending it. Socialists at 84%. Social Democrats at 13%. Apolitical at 1%. Liberal at 1%. Conservative at 1%. We have eradicated conservatism in this community. And we have created a socialist utopia in this community. All right, up next is ethnicity. This is another spicy one, a spicy facility where people get upset and frustrated that their ethnicity is not being properly represented. But you already know we have limitations. Ethnicity, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1 is Caucasian, white. Okay. Hispanic / Latiner is number 2. Asian / Pacific Islander is number 3. Black is number 4. And mixed / other is number 5. The poll begins. Most of these are just Turks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, vote away. As you have seen, the number of whites have actually gone up and then maintained stability since 2021. That's right. In 2020, when we first did this poll before the election, mixed and other was at 25%, black was at 8%, Asian Pacific Islander was at 9%, Hispanic and Latiner was at 13%. The community has become less diverse over time. Whites have, unfortunately, colonized this chat. Calling this poll ethnicity is crazy law. This is just race categorized according to us. Yes, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. This is not an official government census, okay? Calm down. All right, it seems as though my racist behavior has taken a toll. Caucasian is still standing strong at 58%. Hispanic Latiner numbers have grown from 17% to 18%, it seems. Asian Pacific Islander is also at 8%, remaining strong. And black is still at 7%, whereas mixed and other went from 8% to 9%, it seems. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, this is busted. Okay, all right. There's something wrong here. Bro, this just shows that this community has literally been the same. Every year we have this conversation, and it literally has been like, there has been no difference whatsoever since like 2021, basically. and it's just the same people. They're just getting older. How is this fucking possible? How is this possible? Are we just going to keep, like, there's just no new faces around here? Or how does the ethnic like demographic breakdown and everything else remain the same, and the community just keeps aging? Like, there are clearly newer people in here, you know what I mean? We're not, it's not the same 30,000 people. I don't understand. Is it the same 30,000 people? In 2021, you lost all the black conservatives, it seems. The same people getting older, but some people transitioned? Yeah, I think that's what happened. No, actually, this is like shocking. This is literally just the exact same percentage breakdown, like a little bit more movement for the Hispanic Latino caucus, but Asian Pacific Islander pretty much the same. Like 1319. Now it's 1495. Just more people are voting. And black percentage is at 7% this year, and it was 7.8% last year. Click on some chatters profiles. They're all 50 plus months subs / followers. Not bothering to answer anything because I can't see it. I can't see the poll on mobile and haven't answered anything. That's so cute. This guy said, my girlfriend, in parentheses, Asian baddie, by the way, is a new viewer, but she's at work, so she can't vote. Asian baddie, by the way. Okay, bro. Nice, sweet flex, man. You're killing it. Horrible ad break segue. Also, 30-month subscriber. Following since 2022. No wonder the fucking demographics have remained the goddamn same. None of you motherfuckers are bringing in new people, bro. What the hell? Half of the chat has just been here for in perpetuity. Half of the chat has been here forever. We're going to be passing a decade. Motherfuckers are going to be in here. That's crazy. Okay, Caucasian at 58%. Hispanic Latino at 18%. Mixed other at 10%. Asian Pacific Islander at 8%. Black people at 7%. God damn. We ain't moved shit around these parts, bro. Let's do religion. Another annoying topic, okay? Annoying topic that every year leads to some of the funniest conversations that take place about how atheism is not the same as agnosticism, and also that atheists are actually the most undermined, the most unjustly maligned in this community, even though the entire fucking community is atheist. Okay, religion. There we go. First and foremost, we got atheist / agnostic. Then we have Christian. And if you're Catholic, that means you're fucking Christian, okay? Don't even play with me. Islam. Judaism. And other. All right, the poll begins now. What do I do if I'm culturally Jewish but don't believe in God? Just say Jewish, man. What do you mean? Just, Jesus Christ. It's up to you, okay? Just make a Redditor option. We really need a black Israelite section. Agnostic really is different, but I get it. Dude, that is the... nice bathroom. If I hadn't known you for years at this point and knew that you were a black man, I would never believe that you were a black man after what you just said right here. Okay? Agnostic really is different, but I get it. That is the most white Redditor ass take I have ever. I wish the fuck you would. That's the most white Redditor take of all time. Okay? Excuse me, excuse me. Nah, you can convert someone that's agnostic, but not an atheist. Okay, dude. Where's the Amish section? What the fuck? Sorry. Apologies to the Amish, but you just bracket it off as other. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got atheist and agnostic from 76% to 74. Wow. First time we've seen a dip. Or I guess last year to the year prior to last year, there was a 2% dip and another 2% dip now. Uh-oh, what's going on? Christianity is on the rise from 11% to 12%. Islam from 4%, still at 4%. Seems like Islam was much more prominent initially. Okay. It seems like when I first started this broadcast, we had more Muslims. Judaism is at 1%, and it is increased to 2% by 1% to 2%. This year, it's still at 2%. Other is at 8%. Why'd you lose them in 2022? I don't know. I don't know what happened in 2022. This is what Turkey criticism gets you? Nah. Wait, is Christianity on the rise? Were they actually cooking when they said that? Was that not a lie? Is Christianity actually on the rise, chat? What the fuck? It's one of the only demographics. It's the only religion that's grown in this chat. Atheist agnostic has gone down, and seemingly people have converted back to Christianity. How the fuck? Is this a recession indicator? What the hell's going on? Woke Pope, hello? Down by percentage, not by number, though. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Left-wing Christianity is seeing movement on TikTok. It's time for the yearly recitation of the Shahada. Yeah, we got to get those Muslim numbers up, man. My girlfriend, Christian Batty, by the way, is a new viewer, but she's at work, so she can't vote. Yeah. These numbers would be so much better for Christianity if Pinoy Pope won, because as everybody knows, we have a massive Swagapino population in here. Atheists see non-practicing Jews and Muslims still call themselves that and didn't know they could too. No, I'm willing to bet the overwhelming majority of people who say they're atheist and agnostic are mostly from either Christian or Jewish background, but even mostly just Christian background. Like, I think even atheists who are of Jewish descent will still say Judaism. It is 2:56 a.m. in the Middle East, to be fair. Brother, do you think the only place where Muslims exist is the Middle East? My sister is voting illegally. She only watches when I visit. What the fuck? Voting illegally. Illegals! They're voting! Okay, next up, 74% Christianity, or not Christianity, atheist and agnostic. Atheist agnostic has gone down. Christianity's gone up. Everything else has stayed the same. All right, next up is sexuality. That's right. Sex. Are we having it? Are we not? Just kidding. That's another poll. It's the V card poll. We'll do that afterwards. But before we do that, we got straight, bi/pan, because we're doing some kind of erasure always, gay/lesbian, asexual, and questioning/other. Remember, we're doing sexuality. Okay. Sexuality poll. Now, initially, when we first started off, this community was way more straight. And year over year, the straights have gone down, with the exception of July 2023, where there was an uptick in the number of straights. But starting point was 65% straight. And the end point last year was 55.9, so 56% straight. It seems like the men are under attack, and it seems kind of like the straights are under attack in this community. Considering that the audience profile has not changed, I just suspect that everyone became gay. It turns out the conservatives were right. Okay? Conservatives were right. People are just simply becoming gay. Here's the sexuality poll. Straights have gone down again. Now at 53%. Bi/pan is up from 27.5 to 30%. Oh my God. Holy Toledo. The gays and lesbians are also up 7.5 to 8%. Asexuals have gone up as well from 4.61 to 5%. And questioning/other is still remaining around 4%. That's gone down a little bit as well. Maybe some people are no longer questioning and figured out what kind of bracket they fall under. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Holy Toledo. Let's go. Bi Christian unks on the rise. No queer section. Queer section would be just like other, I guess. Right? That's what we did before. Yep, that's right. The straights are getting eliminated, 56% to 54%. Bi/pan is on the rise from 27 to 29%. Well, it was 30 a second ago, so it's probably around 30 still. Gay and lesbian at 8% as opposed to 7.5. And the ace community has risen up from 4.6 to 5%. We are deleting the straights, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next is the height category. I don't necessarily care about the height category, but a lot of people wanted to put it in, and we have since December 2020. And I think it's one of the silliest ones because you don't really get anything. You don't really understand anything there, but here we are. All right. All right, I'm ending this poll. Okay, straights have won. Height category is the lie category. Why would you ever lie about that? No one can see you. No one can associate your username with whatever your input is. It literally is the most inconsequential thing of all time to lie about. All right, at number 1, we have under 5 foot. At the second category, we have 5'1" to 5'5". At the third category, we have... Wait, what the fuck? How did I do so many different ones here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How do I do 8 categories? Wait. Oh, it was the first poll was before Twitch. Is that what it is? Okay. Okay, yeah, we're doing 5 under 5 foot, 5'1" to 5'5", 5'6" to 5'8". And then 5'9" to 5'11", and over 6 foot tall. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. No centimeters. Can 5'11" chatters get our own category for being so powerful yet humble yet also goated at the same time? Yes. All right, you want me to play CNN America's poll music? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Holy Toledo! Welcome back to Harry Enton doing the polls. That's right. This community has obviously gotten a lot. This community has noticeably gotten a lot taller over the course of many, many years. Going from 6 feet at 27%. No, actually, the community's height has stayed noticeably the same since July 2023. Here is a 5'1" to 5'5" at 17.6%, only to go up to 17.9%. Let's take a look at what the numbers look like right now. You got the under 5 feet coming in at 2%. Not a lot of under 5 feet chatters in here, but their numbers have grown as opposed to last year, going from 1.67 to 2%. The 5'1" to 5'5" category has gone from 17.9% to 21%. Probably an increase in the number of women in the community has also led to an increase of the number of people that are between the height of 5'1" to 5'5" in the same time frame. 5'6" to 5'8" went from 24% to still staying at 24%, and the 5'9" to 5'11" category has gone up from 28.7% to 29%, and the 6 foot plus has actually gone down. That's right, we are chopping the tall trees here. It's the Holocaust. That's right, a talicide is imminent, ladies and gentlemen. Noticeable decrease in the number of talls, which is good because we don't fuck with the talls. Chop them down. Gravity. The number of 6 foot plus has gone from 27.48% to 25%. Once again, it could be because there are more girly pop nations rising up in the community. That is probably part of the reason why. Having said that, however, we welcome the girly pops to the community. We do not want any talls in the community. El Gonzo Gamer says, my girlfriend is a 6'2" baddie, but she's at work, so she can't vote. Some people think that we've shrunk as we've aged, and that is the reason why. Perhaps that's the case, but I doubt it. All right, up next is transgender. That's right, the trans agenda. Is it alive? Is it well? Is it living and breathing? Let's take a look. In the year 2022, the year of our holy Lord, the number of cisgender chatters was at 87%. And in that time frame, the number of trans chatters have actually increased from 12.9% to 14.3%. Has this community actually done trans erasure? Is Hasan Piker transphobic, as many of his haters claim? Find out more at 7. Harry Enton coming in here live. Wait, what? Okay, it won't let me write cis and trans, so I'm just gonna do this. All right. For some reason. All right, if you're cis, go to C. If you're trans, click on T. That's right. That's pretty simple to understand. I hope everybody understands that. I hope it's not that difficult to comprehend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, holy Toledos all around. It seems like the number of trans chatters has actually increased. As a matter of fact, everybody transgender. Everybody transgender, folks. That's right. Everything computer, everyone transgender. Hold on. Although the trans chatters initially voted in large quantities and large numbers, it seems to me like their increase in the community hasn't been all that significant. It turns out it was only because the trans chatters were very excited to vote. It's gone down in the process of voting from 90% down to 15%. Still an increase, however, from the 14.3% as it was last year. And certainly an increase from 12.9% 3 years ago. Yeah, the trans mirage. Yeah, it stopped the steal. Reporting live. Reporting live from outside of the polling station, we have a trans baddie wearing coder socks. She says, stop the steal. Stop the count, she says. It turns out the initial number of reported trans chatters was simply a trans mirage. All of the vote by mail voters have come in, and once the votes are tabulated, it turns out that the transgender community has only grown by 0.7%, going from 14.3% to 15%. Maricopa County votes are coming in by the hour, with the number of cis chatters growing from, or the number of cis chatters remaining the same. Oh no! The number of chatters, no! As Maricopa County voters are coming in, it seems the number of trans chatters have gone down from 14.3% to 14%. It's too close to tell. Holy Toledo! We have lost count. It's probably almost identical in terms of the breakdown, in terms of the voter breakdown. It's just that it's literally just that. What do you call it? Let's see the exact breakdown. Hold on. Does it show like the exact percentage? No, it doesn't. The cis from Maricopa County have taken over and brought up the number of cisgender chatters to 86% with 15,000 votes, and trans people are at 14% with 2,538 votes. Now, of course, once again, contrary to popular opinion of my naysayers that claim that this is an anti-trans community and that HasanAbi is a transphobic person, the percentage of trans chatters reflects a different reality. That's right. Trans people make up around 1% of society, but 14% of the HasanAbi chatters, which means there are 14 times more trans chatters in here than in regular society. Oh, trans chatters are up by 0.1%. All right, up next is location. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, next question is location, location, location. I'm Harry Enton, and we're looking at locations. Americas is number 1. Australia is number 2. Europe. Not EU. If you're UK, you click on Europe, Asia, and Africa. Obviously, given the time constraints, Asia is very unlikely to be able to report accurately on this. And I would say the same about Australia as well. Yes, Australia is New Zealand as well. I set my alarm for 8 a.m. for this shit. Now it's 10 a.m. I mean, these numbers have not really changed at all, so I don't see anything. I'm not expecting anything too crazy to change here. So, and it doesn't seem like it's changing at all. Hold on, I gotta pee. Okay. Oh. How do I vote Utah? Don't worry about it. My ex-wife, ZA Batty, by the way, can vote, and she's in the chat, but she hasn't been respecting the equal custody rules of our divorce agreement. Can you help? All right, America's is at 81%, as it has been forever, or 82%, as a matter of fact, which of course means South America and North America, but I assume that most of it is North America. Europe is at number 2 at 13%. Number of Europeans have actually gone down, as a matter of fact. And Australia is at 2%, an increase from Australia, still less than when it was at 2022. Asia is at 2%, also somewhat of an increase from 2024. And Africa is at 1%, an increase from 0.8. Part of the reason why this is the polling results is time zone as well, for sure. But a big part of the reason is because we have mostly, Europe would probably be much higher percentage-wise if, I had a different time zone that I was doing it in. I suspect that my European chatters have a hard time staying up this late. How many for North Korea? All of the 2% Asia is actually North Korean. It's the entire population of North Koreans that have access to the internet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next. Another real doozy. No Middle East. Dog, it's one of the respective continents that's on there. We have 5 options only. What do you want from me? Every goddamn year. All right, time for the salary conversation. Might feel as though you're talking to your parents and having that uncomfortable conversation about when you're going to inevitably move out, but it's time. Salary none/unemployed, which of course means you might be a student as well. Salary at $1 a year to $20,000 a year. Salary at $20,000 to $50,000 a year. Salary at $50,000 to $100,000 a year. And last but not least, the greatest salary number, which is $100,000 plus. You have 3 minutes. Now, of course, initially when I first started in December 2020, a lot of y'all were none and unemployed. Lots of students, maybe still in college, or just straight up unemployed and laid off. And of course, that unemployment layoff number increased a little bit in 2021 during COVID. I'm in Canada. How do I do this? Convert to American dollary dues. Actually, no, just say it in Canadian dollars, whatever it reflects to. Okay? All right. None unemployed was 29%. What, 1 million bracket when? Is it just my salary or both our salaries? My partner is mega fucking rich. Man. If you share a bank account, then fine. Everyone's Rancor, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And Sunny in Yuffie, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Non-Jade, all the wealthiest chatters are gifting subs right now. Don't fuck with the integrity of the poll. Yeah, that's right. Just fucking vote however you would, however much money you make. All the 100K plus earners have to be responsible are the gifties, right? That's right. All of the Asian baddies that are making $100,000 plus are in the chat right now, peppering everybody with gifted subs. All the Asian girlfriends, all the banker girlfriends, all the wealthy girlfriends, and the boyfriends alike are in the chat, showering the community with gifted subs. Holy moly. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. It's gone up, up, up. As a matter of fact, it seems as though the none/unemployed bracket has actually gone down. This is not a recession indicator, but instead, it's a progression indicator. That's right. The community is actually leaving the unemployed leftist category here, going from 29.5% last year to 27%. The $1,000 to $20,000 bracket is at 14%, which is around the same, 13.8. And the $20,000 to $50,000 bracket has gone from 21.2% to 21.20. I don't know. It's just still 21%. It seems like there's not a lot of movement in the 20K to 50K category, whereas the 50K to 100K category is at 22%, going up to 24%. And last but not least, the Big Monty, holy Toledo, the 100K plus chatters rise up. It turns out the 100K plus chatters have gone from 8% to 5% to 10% to 11% to 12%, all the way now to 14%. Socialism but rich is no longer just a theory or a slander. Socialism but rich is now becoming a reality. It's also a consequence of inflation, as a matter of fact, but having said that, the community is getting older and is filled to the brim with champagne socialists. That's right. What happened? If you were to ask the average person outside, if you were to ask like a random person, right? They would literally say, this community is filled with a bunch of teenagers who are unemployed and don't know anything about the world or whatever. But it turns out it's people who are making like 50K to 100K plus and mostly over the age of 30 now. To be fair, that was me when I came in. No, I know. I mean, it's just, what does this tell you? What does this tell you? This tells you that if you're a HasanAbi head, you will get a job. You will get older as time goes on, and you will become a woman. That's what this tells you. This is another one of those like that kind of moves a little bit in the upwards direction in the same, almost the same way as like, almost the exact same way that the age bracket moves as well, interestingly enough. It might have been different if you pulled a week ago because school started this week in many places. I mean, it's what is it? It's a Friday night. And in places where school started, it's Saturday if it's in the morning. So it's fine. I literally got my job because I'm a HasanAbi head. HasanAbi head coworkers. Hell yeah. All right. Up next is education. That's right. We're doing education. Another one that's a fantastic one. Hold on. Education. Okay. All right. Let's get it started. Let's get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I really hope that the CNN theme music doesn't cook me and hit me with a DMCA. I was just thinking about that. If it mutes like most of the fucking VOD, I'm going to be so pissed. It will? God damn it. All right, new poll, ladies and gentlemen. Education. High school / GED level at number 1. Associates / trade at number 2. BA / BS at number 3. Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts and Science. Masters at number 4. And last but not least, PhD, pretty hot dad, MD, mid dick, and JD, Jedediah dick. Let's start now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. For those of you who do not know, let's take a look at the results from prior years. August 2022 is when we first started this Census Bureau addition to the polls. And high school GED was at 26.9%. That has largely remained stable. Associates and trades was at 14.3%. That has also largely remained stable. BA / BS has gone down from 46% to 44%. Masters have gone up from 8% to 10%. And pretty hot dad, MD and JD, has gone from 3.8% to 4.2%, which leads me to believe that because everything else was adjusted, a bunch of chatters with undergraduate degrees actually went on to get their masters. And maybe even their PhD, MD, or JD. If you're still in progress of getting your degree, then you put your degree. That's how we do it. Right? It's not the last one that you attained. Like if you're closer to attaining it, you just put, you know, if you're close, if you're literally a senior in college, you can put BA, dude. That's how we do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the poll results. Turns out high school and GED is still at 26% as it was before. Associates in trade is still at 14% as it was before. BA and BS is at 44%. Masters have gone up from 10% to 12%, and the PhD, MD, JD number has stayed at 4%. Wait, why are you saying recount? The hype train ruined it? It's not over yet. You can still vote. Restart the vote. We demand a recount. Wait, why? Oh, because of the hype train? It's still going. You can still vote. They did it wrong? They already voted before you explained the college thing. Voted himbo? I can't believe it, dude. I'm going forward with it. Restart. I voted incorrectly. I mastered weed. Not that I have a master's in weed. It's too late. We voted based off what we have. That's fine. That's good enough. Come on, we still have V-Card, Weebs, Diet, Neurodiversity, and Gaming Frogs. We're moving on. This'll... God damn it. Neurodivergent is coming up, chat. Don't worry. I know what the results are. I can tell from the way you're reacting right now. Okay. 99%. 99.9% actually. Yeah, we don't even need to put the neurodivergent question in there. All right. Next up, we have V-Card. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fast one. V-Card. The reason why we can't say virginity is because it is not allowed on Twitch to write in a poll. Okay, so if you are a non-segs haver or a segs haver, write it in there. It means you have had sex at least one time. That means you are a segs haver. If you have never had sex, that means you are a non-sex haver, as in you are a virgin. This is a stand-in for virgin, which I can't write because Twitch won't allow me. Because they think it's like inappropriate to call someone a virgin, so they think I'm writing like it's a TOS term. In a dream doesn't count. When we first started the broadcast, or when we first started doing these polls in December of 2020, non-sex havers was only at 46.3%, with the majority still being sex havers at 53.69%. Over the years, many HasanAbi heads have actually lost their V-card and have become sex havers. 70% is sex having and 29% are non-sex having. Let's take a look at the results now. Holy Toledo! The number of virgins are diminishing in this community. Even further, it's gone from a 30-70 split to a 25-75 split. If you are a HasanAbi head, that means you are fucking. Does it count with a cousin? Yes. It seems to me like Chad Vice is working. Also, this is a good opportunity to plug Chad Vice, the segment. It will start at 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow with 2 guests. Chad Vice, the segment. Community segments are back, alive and well. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, we are still doing more community stuff. including but not limited to Chad Vice. The Chad Vice segment is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, and our guest advisors are going to be Vanilla Mace and Phase Adapt. Two guests, Vanilla Mace and Phase Adapt. PDT, not PSD. What? It's Pacific. 3 p.m. Pacific. 1 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 p.m. Pacific time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, sex hours are actually at 76% by the end of this poll. 76% to 24%. Virgins are getting eradicated. Up next is Weebs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ending the poll and we're moving on to the next one. Up next is Weeb. This is one that is near and dear to me. The number of weebs have actually swung wildly over the course of many years now. In December 2020, the number of weebs in this community was at 47.42%, as opposed to the number of non-weebs was at 52%. Nowadays, the number of non-weebs is at 54% to 45%. It turns out weebs have not been rising up. I'm going to put it at ayaya or no. Ladies and gentlemen, the Weeb poll is alive and well. For our annual new poll, do you want to do the how long have you been following to get an idea of how some are new in the community? I don't know how we would bracket that. What makes someone a weeb? Do you watch anime and enjoy anime or not? Twitch UI is so busted I can't see the poll. Why? Because the level 6 hype train is taking up a lot of space. Okay, seems like the number of weebs have risen up in the last year. You have to refresh. If you can't see the poll, just refresh. If you can't see the poll, just refresh. Tell chat to refresh if they can't see the poll. It worked for me. Ding, 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 ding. Weebs are still... Wait, what? Weebs are back to being a majority in the community. Oh my God. Holy Toledo. Wait a minute. Holy Toledo. Ayaya. The last time weebs have risen up, they rose up far too much, and ever since then, they've been taking a nosedive in the numbers, going from 57% in August 2022 to down to 45% in August 2024. The number of weebs have risen back up to 49 or 51%, overtaking the majority once again. Anti-weebs, you are losing. The more the community fucks, the more weebish they get. Something important to notice here. C-Mac, bro, your mods are streaming waifu horse race weeb games in their free time is out of control. Hell yeah. Umamasume. Body pillows for all. Number of weebs are at 51% and number of non-weebs are at 49%. Non-weebs out. All right, we're moving on to another incredibly annoying poll. Diet. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ending this poll, and as I said, 51 to 49%. We're moving on to the next poll. The next poll is diet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, mostly women in here. Shouts out to the women. I love women. Girly Pop Nation, rise up. At number 1, we have carnist, omnivore. Number 2, we have vegetarian. Number 3, we have vegan and pescatarian. All right. Starting the poll in 3, 2, 1. Fired off. Waiting for the Carnage lab grown category. Have you watched K-pop Demon Hunter? Yes, it's fucking goated. I just ate next to Marsh in Bushwick. That's funny. Who's Marsh? Important for Chad Vice. Final day to submit 2 p.m. PST tomorrow. 1 p.m. PST, by the way, not 2 p.m. We moved it down to 1 p.m. PST. Stop with the political questions. I mean, there could be some political questions. As long as they're funny. You mean Mauricio Miranda? I don't know who that guy is. I haven't seen him in so long. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at Carnist Omnivore at 87%, which is been relatively strong here. 87 to 88% is what it's been looking like. Vegetarians are at 6%, up from 5.4%, and vegans were 3.5%, and now they have risen. Vegans rise up. They are at 4% now, finally reaching that same boundary that they had in December 2021 when we first implemented the vegan poll question, and pescatarians have gone up from 2% to 3%. It's kind of funny because whenever this question comes up, of course, Megan Venice, why do you think eating animals is ethical? As you guys know, especially back in the day with Austinox, this used to be a major point of contention where every year I'd be shocked at how little the numbers of vegans were in this community, and yet how much they occupied so much fucking time on the broadcast. I used to butt heads with vegans all the time. We had Bao Bao. We had Bao Bao, who's gone. He's not even in the chat anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Maybe he became a hater. Who knows? What happened to Bao Bao? Israel already walked back. Hamas is baiting them to committing genocide. Why isn't Gaza just picking themselves up by their bootstraps? Them demands food and water and freedom. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Damn, he was in here in October 7. He's not like a October 7 leaver though. You had a big fight about it? No, he's not. This is not like an October I don't think this person is like pro-Israel, chatters. He's being sarcastic. Yeah, Bao Bao's cool. He's not. If anything, he probably left because I stopped gaming. Bao Bao watches Caroline or Will still busy with life. Can we retake the poll with Carnage red meat, Carnage no red meat? No. I don't want to add another question to the poll. It's just too many. It's already too long. Neurodiversity, ladies and gentlemen, neurodiversity. think we already know what the answer to this question is. Come on now. Yes versus no. Neurodiversity. Are you neurodivergent or not? Obviously, we know the answer. When we first started this in July 2023, the numbers of neurodivergent chatters was at 64%, and the neurotypical chatters was at 36%. Let's see if those numbers have increased in spectacular fashion. Yeah, this question should be, are you neurodivergent or are you in denial? But I wouldn't say that, of course, except I just kind of briefly alluded to it. But let's take a look at the number of neurodivergent chatters versus the number of chatters that are in denial. Okay, 67%. There is an increase from 63% to 67%. The number of neurotypicals has gone down from 36% to 33%. RFK is going to use this to send us to the farms? Yeah. Hasan's my hyperfixation. They've been trying to box me in for years, but I'll never let them. Neurodiversity has gone up, up, up. The schizophrenia count. What the fuck do you think? God damn it. 6-7. Up 6-6. Gone up from 63.8% to 66%. Neurodivergency is up and up. And last but not least, the scariest question of all, the one that was implemented last year for the first time. This is going to be the first year to see if the numbers have gone up or gone down. A lot of people are going to be talking shit about this, of course. There it is, 66 to 34. New poll, gaming frogs. Many of you are dead at this point, but is it alive and well? We will find out. Gaming frogs, watch none, watch some, watch all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last question of last year, and we'll be getting polled for the first time ever this year, is gaming frogs. I've literally never seen you game. Would you watch, or have you watched? Would you watch some gaming, or would you watch all gaming, or would you watch none? If you were to look at this community, you would assume that this is the #1 gaming community of all time. Okay? A lot of people are saying depends on the game. I said your Marvel Rivals gameplay was cute. Retirement home cute. And of course, predictably, everyone is a liar. Last year when we first polled this question, watch none was at 20.1%. Watch some was at 62%, which I think is a lie, by the way. And watch all was at 17.8%. This year, there has not been a lot of gaming. There have been some, but not a lot. And the numbers have remained 20, 60, 20. That's right. Watch all has gone up to 20%, which is a fucking lie. Watch some has gone down from 62 to 60%, and watch none is still at 20%. You would assume that this would mean that I would go from 30K with a 20% dip. I would only have a 20% dip at 30K and not half the community leaving immediately in droves. Except we know what the truth is. What is this? The requested page could not be found. Is not 80% watch all? Okay, that's true. I guess that does make sense. When people say watch some, a bunch of streamers were playing Among Us yesterday. Could have been you. No, they asked me. It was Elam's lobby initially. I didn't want to play Among Us. And also it was in the morning. Oh, so you are doing this to us for fun? No, guys, I'm not gonna. I don't want to play Among Us. If someone were to invite me to a Peak lobby, I would play. I've been meaning to play Peak. Why are you like this? Watch some at 60%, watch none at 20%, and watch all at 20%. I guess that actually does make sense. So the watch some chatters are you know, they range. Play Peak with Vanilla Mace. Please, please. I'm down. That's why you don't have Gen Alpha chatters? Yeah, watch some means 50-50 split, which means that my audience number dwindles to 50%. So it does make sense. It goes from 30K to 15K when I'm gaming, which means that only 30% watch some of the games and the other 30% watch some of the games. So watch some does make sense. The half that leaves aren't even voting in the polls. Look at the vote count, lol. That's normal. Having like 35K people in the chat and having like this number of voters is perfectly valid. It's perfectly normal. Like right now, there's 32,000 people watching, right? That concludes our community function for the day. Yeah, we have 27,703 chatters right now. So there's like 5K inactive watchers that are not chatting. This was great. All right, fuck it. I'll do a new question. What should I do? All right, we'll do a new question. Fuck it. What should the new question be? How many years have you been watching? Years watched? Cat or dog? Dick size, clit length? Dude, there are years. It's been years. Why do you guys still ask me this? It's been years. Why? Why is that still something that a bunch of chatters will ask? This is so crazy. At least now it's inclusive to clit length as well. It went from just dick size to clit length. And that's fucking nuts, because I guess that means it's because we are a fucking 60-30 community now. You know what I mean? Israel supporter versus anti-Zionist. Okay, that's going to be 100% poll. there are two things that this community does not have: cops and Israel supporters. Okay, if there's anything that is impossible for people to, like, people know where my preferences are on this. Relationship status versus years watched. 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, something like this. Wife hours? Okay, Megaphonics. Shut the fuck up. We know. We know why you want that. We get it, bro. Your years watched is good. All right, let's do years watched. Let's do years watched. Let's do years watched. All right, last question. New question being added. I'm such a sucker, dude. And then after that, we'll go back to Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, years watched. Follow age 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. I don't think that should be. But it's 5+ years is going to win out like big time on that one, I think. Wait. Maybe like where you found me? Like hater pipeline. Could that be good? TYT, gaming with friends. Hater pipeline, social media like TikTok, you know what I mean? Broad. Put in leftovers? Nah. Podcasts? Is that too much? Last year, you said you wanted to add a poll for how many parents, legal guardians are in the chat since chat is getting older. No, I don't want to do that. What union we're in, if any? No, that's not. You need to include the HasanAbi Clips Industrial Complex. I follow because one of my friends said you were banned for the 9/11 comments, and I thought based. How do I count that? Poke did something like that, but with a Google form might be the... Yeah, there's a limit to the polls. It has to be 5, right? So that's the issue. Okay, this is too hard. This is too hard. Because... No, I'm not going to break it to 2 questions. There's too much there. There's too much there. That's like too difficult to put together. It's not going to work, I don't think. Let me think. Political alignment before watching? What do you mean political alignment? We already did that. Oh, you mean like before watching? Years ago, Osman Gold was glazing you, so I started watching LOL. Jesus Christ. This is before Osman Gold's pivot. X Arthur, thank you for the 5 gift the subs. Yeah, I think years watched is easier. I've always wanted to do that. Hell yeah. Yeah. Based on the trends in like 5 years, we're all going to be short, old, rich, white, bisexual Christian women. Hell yeah. Okay. We're doing years watched. Years watched frequently. Okay. Number 1. 0 to 1 year. At number 2, 1 to 2 year. At number 3, 3 to 4 years. Three to 4 year. At number 5, 4 to 5 year. And at number 6, 5+ year. All right. Let's take a look. New one just came in. Hot, fresh off the polls. Fresh off the presses. Not even on the Brilliant Drink GitHub yet. Wait, the top 5 is only 5 years? Come on, man. Does old head erasure? Low key, you're not wrong, but holy Toledo, 29% is already at 5-year plus. I was a person in New York City you met in the Hypeland Trafalgar Law Pants. I'm waiting for the 8-year button. Look at that. Well, I mean, you're a 50-month subscriber. You got a long time to go. Including YouTube, yes. Oh, fuck. I forgot 2 to 3 years. Fuck. All right, we got to do the poll again. I'm tired. Fuck. It's not my fault. It's Fizz's fault. Look, 0 to 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 4 years. He skipped it. It's entirely his fault. Stop the count. Stop the count. Stop the count. We're going to do it again. 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 Years watched frequently. Okay. 0 to, I'm going to say 0 to 2 years. And then 2 to 4. Do 4 years plus. The data is more useful when we see who is new. Okay, you're right. 0 to 1 year. Damn, that's brilliant. You're right, Lil Bear. And then 2 to 3 year. 3 to 4 year. And then 4 year plus. That number's gonna go crazy though. All right, let's do it. 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 Once again, doing it one more time. Doing it one more time for the one time. 0 to 1 year, 1 to 2 year, 2 to 3 year, 3 to 4 year, 4 year plus. Jesus Christ, dude. This is so much less informative. Wait, why? It's not. It's not. It's just we don't have any new viewers. Yeah, Hellbender. My sub badge is like twice as old as the top tier of that poll. 6-year subscriber. 74 months. Guys, any other Twitch community where you would do a poll like this, I can't stress this enough. Any other Twitch community where you do a poll like this, the numbers would look exactly the opposite. You understand that, right? Most people's Twitch careers have a limited time span. Like, there's a reason why so many content creators who are at the top will just eventually like fizzle out and move in a different direction. I don't think you understand. This level of viewer retention is not normal at all. If we're going to do a new poll, I think this would work. My girlfriend, 1010 straight white autistic socialist streamer, cis atheist baddie with juicy firm ass, by the way, is the breadwinner, which is a huge W. Hell yeah. God damn. 0 to 1 year is at 14%. 1 to 2 years is at 12%. 2 to 3 years at 12%. 3 to 4 years at 14%. And 4 year plus is at 47%. It's crazy that we don't have that many people that are new because I feel like I've seen you in way more podcasts and publications. I think the reason why is because a lot of, like, I would say that like a lot of my impact, like there's still new people coming in here very clearly, right? Obviously, there's still a lot of new people coming in here. I mean, 12% of the community is new. It's just like 1 to 2 years. Or, I mean, 14% is 0 to 1 year. Sorry. So that means like there are a lot. I mean, 14% of the community is new. Having said that, however, I would say that part of the reason why, at least for Twitch, part of the reason why this is the way it is because a lot of the facets of new viewership coming in here to be like, oh, let me check this guy out. I haven't really considered him. Yeah, I'm one bottlenecked by the lack of new Twitch users, but there are a lot of new Twitch users. They're just watching like, you know, younger content creators that are doing like very different kinds of content. And I would say that those who are like interested in politics primarily or like apolitical do get their notes from a lot of the slop tubers and shit. So I'm sure there's that's part of it. "25% are post October 7th. That's huge." Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Look, 12% and 14%. That's 26% of the community that's post October 7th that have been watching since October 7th. That's huge. Which also tracks because I did lose literally 33% of my audience after October 7th. Gen Alpha fucks with XUC, little bro. No, that's not even true. They don't fuck with XUC either. They ain't coming in. You're like CNN for Gen Z and millennials. No, Gen Alpha fucks with like AMP and Phase, which isn't the worst thing, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, they watch a lot of Gen Alpha watches Keizo, Jinxie. Oh my God, brother. Let me tell you something. Do you know how much Gen Alpha loves Jinxie? Holy fuck, dude. They play fucking Clash Royale. They play whatever the fuck he's playing, okay? They love Speed. They love Jinxie. They watch Kai. They watch Keizo. They watch AMP. They watch FaZe. That's who they watch. But yeah, this was a fun ass thing we did, man. God damn. Especially after the fucking week that I've had. Holy shit. Definitely the start of this week was way crazier. This past weekend was insane. I mean, I came in from unlimited death threats and mass deplatforming attempts. Damn, Brilliant Drink updated it already. Holy shit. No, HasanAbi Census, baby. Updated and upgraded. Yeah, next year we're bracketing off 30 plus and 40 plus. We're doing under 21. We're doing under 21 as a new category, and then we're bracketing off like, 20. We're bracketing off like 30 to 35 and then 35 plus or something. Because it's literally almost 50%. I mean, it's basically 50% of the community is 30 plus now. We're getting old. We're getting old as shit, chat. Let's be real. How did this happen? Look at this spike. It feels like we're giving up on the youngins. Aren't they the future? I think this is partially a byproduct of Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross and Kick and a lot of youngins who are remember when you were young, okay? I can't believe I'm saying that because you're fucking all 30 plus, just like I am. But when you were a little bit younger, like you probably found yourself like watching a lot of slop tuber, whatever you would consider a slop tuber now. You probably were watching that back then. And if a lot of those slop tubers have really fucked up right-wing aligned politics, then, you're not going to fuck with a person like me. You're going to be like, oh, that guy sucks. That guy's unk and he's bad. He's a bad guy. I've heard. So you don't even entertain this side of politics in general. Give up chasing the face bag, old man. Grab some icy hot. Yeah. Back then we didn't have slop tubers. People just uploaded for fun. No, there was definitely a lot of right-wing commentators as well. But I wouldn't say that there was as much like the apolitical side of YouTube and the commentary sphere wasn't as like hardline busted into like taking a fuck Hasan position. And I feel like there's probably a lot of people who watch that shit that are like relatively young who don't really know anything about politics. Keem was slop tube and still is. I mean, those guys are going to grow up eventually and form their own political worldview, and it won't be as busted, I don't think. But I also don't do a lot of collabs and don't do a lot of fun stuff to bring in like a younger audience as much any longer. Partially because I'm hyper focused on news, and that's partially because you guys have gotten older and you don't fuck with anything fun. I've become more lame in the process, I think. So I need to do more. I need to do more fun collabs and shit like that. And more like, think about it this way. This is peak woke. Okay? So, of course, if you were under the age of 18 in 2020 during COVID, you were literally like either a Minecraft fan, like a Minecraft stan, and you were omega woke, and you probably thought I was maybe a little too reactionary. Okay? But you're like most people's positions back then was crazy woke. And it dwindled away slowly but surely as like the younger and younger people and most of their content consumption swung exactly in the opposite direction. We took Minecraft wokeness for granted, man. That was pretty nice. Oh my God, I know. Because at most they were annoying. You made me less woke and annoying. Exactly. That was what I tried to do a lot back then. To make like people who are unimaginably frustrating because they were little babies less annoying. And there was definitely a lot of success. Thank you, Brilliant Drink, by the way, for the census.